let's look at communication. Communications, is the way I'm going to define it as we move through today, is a two-way process. We are communications back and forth, okay? I'm not saying this is the academically correct Webster's dictionary. This is the way to get your mind around it. So I define it in the book. So communication, singular. You may be talking to me and I'm not understanding. You maybe send me an email that I don't completely understand. Communications, I'm making the statement that it's a two-way process that everyone's understanding. By the way, since we're talking about it, and I mentioned earlier, this is the premise of social media. What's the first word in social media? Social. Be social. That means giving stuff away freely. See, in Twitter and in LinkedIn and these communities, it's completely contradictory to our normal businesses. People will give away their content and their blogs and their information where you would never do that down the street to a competitor. It's completely different. But it's just a tool. I mean, again, if you are professing to be XYZ and that's not where your customers live and what they do, these tools aren't magic tricks. They are just part of your communications mix. And I can't stress that enough, and I'm never going to let go of that because so many people are like, all right, we'll just break down and do it. How much to get our Facebook page? So what's your plan? That's not a plan. We'll talk about that later. People now can communicate how and when they want. Do you know how your customers prefer to communicate? I mean, they may say, just shoot me an email and everything. But do you know how they prefer to communicate? Have you asked them? And you know, the answer is not just never to have a personal touch because, oh, they told me they prefer email. Are we giving them information the way they best understand? Where are your customers? If they're not on these online or newer presences, should you be spending a lot of time there? Probably not. I mean, if they're not going there, what's your point of spending all the time there unless you're going to develop a new following or a new niche? Just to say because your competitor does that you're on it now? That's not a strategy. So everything, in my belief, is about integrated communications. And let me give you an example. Here's Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. And this is a corrugated print board talking about iPad technology. And look what they do. They give 3 ways to communicate with them. You want a business on the web? Do you want to scan a QR code? Do you want to text KFC to that number? You choose. Down there, I'm sure there's some phone number that you probably get. Your call is very important to us. But they're saying, you choose how you want to communicate with them. That's well done. Printing, technology, and 3 points of communication, well done. Integrated. Or this. What the heck is going on? Here, we have, you can't see it, it is a ready-to-use out-of-the-box Kindle, and it says, reads like real paper. Over here, we have a social media monthly printed magazine. What the heck is that? So a magazine about social media, its whole basis is online. And over here, we're talking about an electronic piece that looks just like paper. See how the worlds are like this? This is what every conference is like. What the heck's going on? That's what everybody's trying to